Welcome to episode 19 of Should We Have Watched That?
I'm Soraya.
And I'm Amanda.
We watched comedy.
We did.
How do you feel about it, Amanda?
I felt pretty good about it.
Yay. I'm really proud of you. You're taking big leaps and bounds with your comedy enjoyment process.
I think it helped that it was very theatrical.
That's true. And we did know that the other one of them could make you laugh already. Mm-hmm. So we watched Pear but Braver. This was put on by the twins, Patrick and Hugo McPherson, presented by Indigo Productions.
Hugo.
What did I say?
Hugh.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh. Patrick and Hugo McPherson, the identical twins.
Mm-hmm. Which they mention multiple times, if you didn't pick it up already, when you actually see them.
A couple of times in the show, they had to specify, we're playing husband and wife here, we're not twins, we're not brothers. Because this was a smorgasbord of comedy. What do you call it? Comedy techniques, comedy, like varieties of comedy. Because we had skit comedy.
No.
Yeah,
Genre.
I guess, yeah. Because there was skit, there was a bit of stand-up, there was definitely audience participation within skits, which is a whole separate thing.
Improv.
A lot of improv. A couple of times at night they said, or a couple of times during the night, they said, like, he's never said that before. And you have to wonder if they have.
That's so true.
And they just said that for the sake of the show. So I wouldn't mind seeing if that's true. But then I suppose, like, depending on what the audience does, that also involves a lot of improv. Because they're not always going to have the same people. Because I feel like audience members at the moment are real shitheads.
Yeah.
And they try to become part of the show.
Yeah. Which you did, but you're polite.
I'm polite about it. I'm just trying to help out. I participated in this one after Amanda was involved in so many last week. I put my hand up.
She did.
Because nobody else did.
And she was in the front row. She was ready to go.
I was ready. Which, it was a pretty full, almost full house.
Yeah, it was a pretty intimate setting though.
Yeah.
I would say.
What venue was it? It was in the Pleasure Garden.
This was at the Parlour. Tickets are $35 to $40 and the duration of the show is 60 minutes.
Which we figured out that it was we left and it was only 50 minutes. Which is fine.
Oh.
Remember we left and I was like, it's only 10:20.
But I didn't realise it was 50.
Yeah.
I knew that it wasn't an hour, but I didn't realise
it was
the
about
exact
50
amount.
minutes. They had a great ribbing moment when a huge pile of people came in after they'd started, and they have this great musical kind of number, I suppose, at the start. Well, they're pretty much just dancing, and I want to say Hugo was dancing, and then
I lost track of who was who. I'm not gonna lie.
It's hard
until there was flour on them.
Yeah,
and I knew who was who.
Yeah,
or once one of them came out with their sweater backwards. That's it helped.
Who do you think that was?
Hugo.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I did it. It's hard to keep track of identical twins. But I think Patrick was at the door, making he made a riff at these people that were arriving late. And it was like, oh wow, that's a long line, and we didn't know how long the line was, being audience members. And then as it just didn't stop. I think about 14 people came in. So silly. One of those people I recognised, and I was a slightly bad front row audience member because I leaned over when the boys went behind the curtain, because I was like, I know that guy and I don't know why I know that guy. Amanda?
I did not know that guy.
And I figured out how I knew him by the end of the show, which not only was there comedy happening, but my brain was working on something else.
Well done.
But they had an umbilical brother at the show, which that means nothing to you, but they're a comedy duo, who I think are actually at the Fringe at the moment, which is why he was late. I think he'd just done his show, or he'd just seen another show.
I see. I see.
The boys had Australian comedy royalty sitting in the second row.
They did.
Very
and
cool.
It wasn't us.
It wasn't. They did mention reviewers.
They did mention reviewers.
We've had a couple of those.
That was probably one of my favourite moments, because I was like, damn, that's a jab, but I'll take it. It was a jab, and it was a little bit painful.
It
but
was. It's fine. We're not mad at you.
It was funny.
We laughed in self-depreciation.
Yeah, we did. We did. We truly did. So overall thoughts. I had a good night.
I did too. And listen, like we did have a
Sassa's favourite word is listen at the moment.
It is. I hate it it's look in TV shows that I hate, but listen is mine. Yeah. I'm trying to get over it. It's a hard road to rehab.
But listen.
We did have somebody go to the show before us, and they said it wasn't that funny, and that mainly the crowd was just going crazy over these very tall. The female portion of the crowd was going crazy over these tall, handsome men, which we didn't experience in our show. I didn't hear anybody.
I don't think so.
Saying anything about how good looking they were. They're good looking. Yeah. We know.
Let's just put that out.
Let's put it out there. It's obvious. But they also said they didn't find them that funny. Whereas,
well, they said the first little, like, they thought the first 20 minutes was great.
Right.
And then it kind of fizzled, yeah.
Whereas I thought it was all quite funny. I really did enjoy it until the end, and it didn't feel like an hour, but that's probably because it wasn't.
I mean, I did say controversial opinion to him. I was like, no, we enjoyed it.
We did.
We didn't we enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Whole way through.
We were brave about it.
Brav.
Which, the concept of the show
is hilarious.
Is so funny. I don't think it's...
That's a really great segue, Sass.
Thank you.
Let's go straight into it. Concept. So it was... Essentially, they had put this show on.
Last year.
And they got a...
Fringe World Review.
That essentially said that it was alright.
Yeah, it was alright. It could have been braver, boys.
Could have been braver. So now we've got Pear, but braver.
They play on the theatrics of that so hard. That bit was very funny. That is at the start of the show, so maybe your friend that's what they were meaning, that it was... That part was particularly funny.
Oh, yeah. Well, I thought it was funny.
Yeah, it was.
I thought it was... I love the fact that they can cop that on the head and then turn that into something. And it's a bit of a, now look at us now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I thought the concept was great. And the fact that it's also to do with Fringe felt very meta.
Yeah. It reminded me of Sean off Shotgun, how he said at the end, like, leave a review even if you hated it, because comedians love getting roasted. And I just feel like they took it that one step further by making an entire show about being roasted. Very lightly roasted.
Yeah.
Like, it's the least aggressive review I think you could have that was slightly negative.
Like, could have been brave. It doesn't even sound that bad.
No.
Really. I don't know, maybe to comedians that's abysmal. Who knows? I wouldn't know.
Let's talk to a comedian about it, shall
we? So, set... I've kind of touched on it already. I said that it was a very circus, like what you imagine a, like, circus tent to be.
Like a big top. But imagine a big top on a small scale.
Yeah. Big top, small scale. I thought it was quite intimate, the setting. It was circular.
In the round, even.
In the round. That's the word. Should know that one, shouldn't I?
Technical, theatrical term.
Yeah. And then the boys performed in the centre, obviously, in the round. And then the audience was around.
You're doing so well. Do you need more sleep?
Who knows, maybe. And then, yeah, that was kind of it. And the exit and the entrance was kind of behind them.
Yeah.
So that's why when Sass was talking about these 15 people coming in, like, they came from behind them and they had no idea.
They had to walk straight through the performance space
to get to their seating area.
Yeah.
And probably climb over a few people.
Yeah.
Because Well, it depends on where people were seated and stuff like that, just to get some seats.
So silly, so silly. The boys had 2 chairs that were part of the set, and then they had a butt ton of props that were at the back.
Mainly 2 chairs and the chalkboard.
Yeah.
That kind of...
was on stage.
Yeah, and you had time to kind of read the chalkboard before the show started. So
not that it was necessary, because they went through it with you.
They did, and they ticked them off with you, which was fun. It was like a little journey that you went on with them. It was a bit confusing, because when you read it, you're like, Hugo's moment, Patrick's moment, and you kind of think, what does that mean?
Yeah.
But they certainly had their moments.
They sure did. Oh, no, we're not doing favourite moments yet, sorry. Continue on.
Lighting?
Oh, it was pretty I don't
I'd
actually remember it, to be honest, which I think means it was just a wash, right?
Yeah.
And then every so often there would be, like, strobe kind of party-ish stuff that just fit in with the skit.
It seems to be sound is their kind of go-to.
Their bread and butter.
Yeah. I'd say. Because they did use, similar to the Way Way Deep, they did use sound and work skits and sketches around that, which was hilarious. Particularly the AI moment, I thought.
The AI moment.
The privilege AI
Yeah.
The calculating their privilege AI moment.
I see that's what I was going to bring up in favourite moments, but I was like, we're not there yet. Sorry, continue.
But yeah, well, that's kind of that for technicalities, I'd say. There was a lot of audience participation throughout the whole thing. Not for everyone, but a handful.
Yeah,
I'd
some
say.
people were throwing lime, so literally a handful of lime. Someone was given a party popper for the sexiest moment of the show, and they chose a very strange moment for it to be the sexiest moment
really
of the
honest?
show.
I did not hear it go off.
No, and it was directly behind us.
Yeah.
I think they only noticed it because of the streamers.
Yeah, and then I looked down and I was like, oh, it's gone off. When?
About 10 seconds ago, baby.
Yeah, I had no idea. So I was like, I thought I missed a moment.
Yeah.
It was kind of sad. That's okay.
The flower thing was... I don't understand the flower joke, to be honest. I can't remember.
Oh, the baking.
Yeah.
I don't know.
A man was given flour and an apron, and then they said that...
Like baking flour.
Yeah. Then they said that that there was a skit going out the back that was just for him. Meanwhile, I think Patrick was out the front just giving us a random story just to try to build up time.
Yeah.
We'll give Hugo some time. Out the back with the volunteer that
He
did
just
not
came
volunteer.
out and threw flour on Patrick.
Yeah.
Is my memory.
Yeah.
But I don't know why.
No.
What for?
Which this is where it gets into my participation in the show, because directly after that they asked for two so both boys have flour on them.
Sass is
Celiac.
severely allergic to gluten.
To gluten. I mean, I can be around gluten, but I can't ingest gluten.
No.
And so they asked for volunteers. I put my hand up because it's silent for a few seconds. That's not fair on the boys. Someone put your hand up. I'll do it. So I did
it.
And then they requested a man someone identifying as male to put the hand up to be a part of it too. And he sat down in one chair, and then I was back with Patrick for a bit.
Yeah. You were with Patrick, yeah.
Yeah.
And Patrick and Hugo played Mummy and Daddy to these two audience participants, aka Sass and this other lad.
And the other lad was a bully. Well, no, so the other lad was being bullied. I was the bully. And Patrick sat me down and said that we have a new mantra and we have a new routine in our household where every time you say something bad, good, you get a raisin.
Oh, yes.
And like a sultana. And I love
It's a reward system.
It's a reward system, and I love me a sultana. I was actually quite happy.
Looking forward to the sultanas.
Yeah, I like sultana. I have sultanas in the fridge. Even the brand that they were holding, that they were using.
Oh.
And Patrick says, I'm going to put, are you okay with that? And that's saying that, I'm going to get force-fed these sultanas.
And Sass had to ruin it with her allergies.
Say, I'm sorry, no. And he was like, oh, why? I'm like, I am celiac and you have flour all over you. So instead of me being fed the sultanas, Hugo was very quick to force-feed Patrick Patrick the sultanas, in which Patrick wasn't enjoying it, and Hugo got to say that you do this to other people every night.
So I'm sure that was only a
because
you thing.
Yeah.
Because how many people would be celiac that go up there?
Yeah, not very. We are many. The celiac society. True. We're underground, but we are many.
That's true.
But yeah, I think you're right that was just improv and then just fucking around.
Yeah.
it's so lovely to see.
Which they did a lot.
Yeah.
I thought. And there were moments of character breaking, which I found so funny. Like one of the boys would just be doing something super dumb, like super silly and ridiculous, and the other one would just be like, just start breaking character and corpsing and start smiling.
Like the accent thing, there was a moment, we think that they do a different accent every night, and what accent Hugo came out with was just, there were apparently two different kinds of South African accents, and he went for the South African accent that did not fit his body type. Very funny.
It was.
Patrick couldn't handle it.
No.
We couldn't handle it either.
No. I was going to say something else. No, I forgot.
Sorry, was it to do with my celiac underground society that can't handle the flour on the sultanas?
No.
Oh.
But that is quite an underground society. I don't know. I think there was a clear structure, obviously.
Yeah.
Because they had that all written up on the chalkboard.
Yeah.
This is a completely different point to what I was going to say, but
Nice.
here we are.
Nice.
So there was a clear structure, but obviously because of that, they were able to riff off that, and they had something to get back to if they were improvising, which is, that's great theatre.
It sure is.
Say.
I think it's great comedy too. You need to have structure, and then you can play within the bounds of the playground, if you will.
I feel like I've heard this before.
Don't know where.
But yes, favourite mementos.
I think I kind of have two. One of them is the AI moment. I thought that was so funny.
Yeah.
Maybe there's three. The introduction of the show I thought was hilarious. That was so quick, and I like that style of humour. It's very, I think, very English, where like they give an example, give like a scenario. They said at one point like that there was a goat, and like, but how are we going to get a goat to Australia? Like it was just like, give a scenario, immediately take it away, kind of thing. And I like that humour. And then the other favourite one was because of the way deep that Patrick's in. Hugo had a printout of Patrick's face, which is very funny because Hugo and Patrick have the same face.
Do we even know that's actually Patrick's face?
No, we don't. That could be Hugo. That could be like a gag behind the gag.
Exactly.
He put up him putting up Patrick's face over his face and redoing the way deep directly to me after I said that I'd seen it. To which Patrick said that it was verbatim, which, all right.
I don't believe how I remember it personally.
But it was beautiful. I did enjoy it.
Loved the fact that they came out in like merino wool turtlenecks.
That was so funny.
And they were sweltering because it was a
one joke.
For one joke. I love that they brought that up. They did a moment with tiny hands, and they had to have long sleeves for the tiny hands, obviously, so that you couldn't see your hands.
Holding the tiny hands.
Holding the tiny hands. And I can't believe that... I just can't believe they committed to full-on, like, turtlenecks. I don't know what the material was, but it literally looks like it was wool.
Or,
like...
And if it was acrylic, that's worse, because it doesn't breathe. Like, it would have been better off in wool.
Yeah. And they were just...
Throughout the show, we are stifling.
We are boiling.
We are dying.
Throughout the whole thing.
Breaking up monologues to be like, I am sweating so much.
Just to do a bit with the tiny hands. And the fact that Hugo did his change and then he came out with his sweater back inside out.
Yeah.
It was great. I don't know if that was
A bit
or not,
Yeah.
but it was certainly a bit.
Honestly, it was funny. It was funny. The more I think about it, the more I'm remembering how fucking funny it was.
Yeah, I agree. I also did enjoy the AI moment. And I would say, obviously, I think the reviewer joke that they said to us, because that was a bit of a dig and it felt a bit personal, but that's okay. Maybe we'll start a show about that.
Yeah. Watch out. Should we have watched that? But comedy aimed at pears.
And now we'll perform.
Yeah.
Because
you'll see. You'll
Just you wait. Catch us in May.
Just you wait.
3 words.
Alright, you want to go first?
I'd say intimate setting. Intimate. Just intimate. But bracket setting. Okay.
How many times can you add extra words to these 3 words?
Chaotic.
Yeah.
Just like me. And honestly, at times, I'd say unpredictable. Like, yeah, there was a structure, but I thought it was unpredictable.
They came out with random shit they did.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
Your
that
3
was-
words?
My 3 words. They were quick. I'd say it was witty. Witty. And at all times ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, that kind of wraps up today's episode. We shall be reviewing. Oh, I forgot to mention that we said that we were going to review something else
Yeah.
in the last episode. So don't be alarmed when this is the next episode.
Yeah, because they didn't approve our tickets,
Yeah, there
So
was a
we-
bit of a boo-boo.
which is fine.
That's okay.
But we just couldn't see the show that we thought we were seeing. Whoopsies.
Yeah, that's okay. So in the next one, which we have seen, so
Woo!
it will be the next episode, we will be going to Pour Me One in Silence. This is a part of the music and musicals genre. And I'm looking forward to this. I think it'll be a good night.
It's Persian music, which we have not experienced in person. I
Yes.
think it's a newly filmed score that I've heard this in.
Yeah.
Real quick, should we have watched Pear but Braver?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was a good time.
Yeah.
They are on until I believe the end of end of Fringe. So they've got plenty of shows left. Please go and see them. They are great fun.
Yeah. No, I'm kind of sad we didn't go see Colossal.
Colossal's not on until the end of Fringe.
Oh.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I think it's on.
Lovely.
Yeah, Colossal is the other show that Patrick is in.
They do have 3 shows on. So The Way Way Deep, Colossal, both theatre shows, and then this one, which
Well,
is
I mean,
a
Hugo's
comedy.
not involved in the...
Sorry, I meant
Patrick.
Patrick is in Colossal and The Way Way
Patrick's
Deep.
got a hat trick.
Yeah.
Eh? Very nice. Good idea, Patrick. He's good. He's a great actor.
He is. Don't know what he's like in Colossal.
No,
from what
but-
we've seen.
Yeah, I assume he'd be very
impressed.
good.
Yes.
Anyway.
But yeah, that wraps up today's episode. Thanks for listening.
I've been Soraya.
And I'm Amanda.
Bye!